From the legendary Shah B1 to bizarre Lafley multi-wheels, the fastest, rarest, and strangest machines are all here. Let's start with the tanks. Let's start with the heavy hitters, the infantry tanks. The Shah B1 bis was France's armoured fist, 60mm of frontal armour, a 75mm hull gun for bunker busting, and a 47mm SA-35 turret gun that terrified German crews at Stong. It could smash fortified positions with ease, but its one-man turret overworked the commander, who had to load, aim, fire, and command simultaneously. Period photos show B1s rolling through Sedan, engines roaring like industrial boilers. About 400 were built. Alongside it stood the Char D2, an early attempt at a modern infantry tank with better armour than the Renault R35 and a decent 47mm gun, but chronic mechanical issues, especially overheating, limited its combat impact. A surviving turret sits at the Musée des Blindés, then the FCM-36, the diesel-powered oddball, superb sloped armour ahead of its time, but a weak 37mm gun. Crews liked the comfort but hated the firepower deficit. Next up, the light tanks, France's true workhorses. The Renault R35, the most common French tank of the war, was built for infantry support. Thick armour, a short 37mm gun, and cramped ergonomics that made long operations exhausting. It could survive hits, but struggled to hit back effectively. In memoirs, crewmen joked, it drove like a submarine on land. Over 1,600 were produced. The R40 was the improved model. Better suspension and a long-barreled gun that could finally threaten German panzers. Only a few hundred made it to combat, but battlefield reports from the Loire show surprising effectiveness. Then, the Hotchkiss H-35. Designed as a fast cavalry tank but reassigned to infantry roles, its armour was excellent for its size. The improved H-39 added a stronger engine and a longer 37mm gun, making it one of the more capable light tanks of 1940. Combined production exceeded 1,000 vehicles. Now let's move to the cavalry tanks, and this is where things get impressive. The Somme S-35, often called the best tank of 1940, combined speed, armour, and a powerful 47mm SA-35 gun in a sleek cast hull. It could hit 40 km/h and had enough punch to knock out early Panzer IIIs. A German report described it as dangerous and difficult to stop. About 430 were built, not nearly enough. Its stablemate, the Hotchkiss H-39 in cavalry units, acted as a lighter flanker, quick, reliable, but undergunned against medium armour. The rare AMC-35, fast, well-armed with a 47mm gun, but plagued by mechanical reliability issues, rounds out the group. Only about 50 saw combat in Belgium. By 1940, French designers were juggling competing doctrines: slow infantry support tanks, fast cavalry machines, and specialized scouts. These vehicles entered service across the Northern Front, the Ardennes, and the Somme. Moving to reconnaissance vehicles, small, fast, and often fragile. The AMR-33, a tiny two-man machine, could sprint at 60 km/h thanks to a high-revving four-cylinder engine. But its machine gun-only armament left crews dangerously exposed against anything armoured. A rare 1940 photo shows AMR-33s racing across open fields during the Saar offensive. The AMR-35 added better armour and options for different weapons, including a 13.2mm heavy machine gun. Crews loved the speed, but hated the tight interior. Then, the elegant Panhard 178, one of the best armoured cars of the war, a 25mm gun, originally, later upgraded to 47 cm in free French service. Excellent range and superb off-road performance made it invaluable. German units reused captured versions for years afterward. Crews described its engine note as a metallic growl. Now for the self-propelled gun experiments. France lacked dedicated SPGs, but prototypes existed. The FCM-36 conversion projects attempted to mount 75mm guns on the FCM hull. powerful but unstable firing platforms. The ARL V-39, a low-profile tank destroyer prototype, carried a 75mm gun in a casemate design and hinted at future TD concepts. Museum documents show it performed well in trials but never reached production before the armistice. The SAU-40, based on the Sommois S-35 chassis, was another promising SPG project mounting a 75mm APX gun. Only prototypes were completed. These experiments showed French engineers understood the need for mobile artillery. They just ran out of time. Next, let's look at the armoured cars. This is where French engineers got clever. The Panhard 178 returns here with emphasis. Versatile, fast and effective in both reconnaissance and combat roles. The Lafley S15 TOW, designed for colonial service, had bizarre roller wheels mounted on its nose to climb obstacles. It looked absurd, but worked brilliantly in Saharan terrain. The AMD-50 and AMD-80 experimental cars pushed for higher speeds, reaching up to 80 km/h in trials. The white Lafley AMD-80, built on American chassis with French armament, showed the hybrid approach France sometimes adopted. These wheeled machines offered speed and range that tracked vehicles couldn't match. And here's where things get truly strange. The Lafley trucks are icons of weird engineering. The Lafley W15, with tiny auxiliary wheels under the bumper, could climb over rocks and trenches like an insect. Drivers joked the wheels were feelers. The Lafley S20 troop carrier used the same bizarre layout, offering excellent cross-country mobility that conventional trucks couldn't match. The Lafley V15T, a light artillery tractor, moved 25mm anti-tank guns at high speed, but suffered from mechanical fragility. About 600 were built across all variants. These multi-wheel designs showed France thinking creatively about terrain, even if the solutions looked ridiculous. Now for the half-tracks, France fielded early concepts inspired by Caigres designs. The Citroën Caigres P17 hauled light artillery, its rubber tracks providing smooth movement over rough ground. Photos show them towing anti-tank guns near the Maginot Line. The P19 added better engines and higher towing capacity. The Unique P107, originally built by Citroën, became the standard transport half-track. Reliable, flexible, but underpowered when fully loaded. Over 3,000 were produced, making it France's most common half-track. German forces captured hundreds and used them throughout the war. Let's explore the artillery tractors and engineering vehicles. The Renault WWII Chenillette, tiny, almost cute, hauled ammunition with a simple 38 HP engine. Crews loved its reliability. Over 5,000 were built. The Lorraine 37L, larger and tougher, later became the base for German conversions into tank destroyers. Its wide tracks gave excellent mud performance. The Lattel M2TL6, a heavy tractor, pulled big 155mm guns with surprising efficiency despite its ungainly appearance. Here comes the strange stuff, the prototypes that never had their war. The G1 project, a medium tank experiment, promised 75mm guns and modern suspension. Multiple manufacturers submitted designs, but none finished in time. The FCM F1, a monstrous, super-heavy tank with 2 turrets and 140mm of armour, looked like a land battleship. Only wooden mock-ups were completed before the armistice. The ARL-44 early concepts, born in secrecy under German occupation, hinted at post-war French tank design and eventually reached production in 1946.